Okay, YouTubers, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for joining me in the Angry Truth channel. Today's video, we're going to talk about the China Social Credit System Part 2. This is a sequel to the first part, obviously, that I did that was skimming the surface of the China Social Credit System. This video should have actually been first, and nonetheless, because I dived more into it, I learned a lot more about it. And being that we're going to see something here in the United States, a variation of it here in the United States, I said, why not have people learn about something, including myself, that could be something we see here in the United States, but again, we're going to see a version of it here. So China is now ranking their citizens through this system. The system has been active for a couple of years, and they actually started years back with certain programs that they were running. But in 2020, they kicked it into high gear, and now they are ranking all of Chinese citizens, businesses, and government officials under this China social credit system. So the social credit system actually monitors people on their behavior in China. This is a mandatory system, so you are mandatorily rewarded and or punished based on your behavior in the Chinese society. Example, you throw garbage on the floor, and one of their, 200 million cameras that they have, surveillance cameras with advanced AI, picks you up. They go, Zhao Ding, dropped paper on the floor. Zhao Ding is now a scumbag. It drops his score. Now, I couldn't find for the life of me how the scoring works, meaning how many points you lose for throwing garbage on the floor, jaywalking across the street, not helping an old lady, not giving up your seat in the train. I don't know how that scoring system works exactly, but I know that it is a form of control to keep their citizens trustworthy. That's the whole point of the Chinese social credit system, is to keep politicians, citizens, and businesses trustworthy. So an estimated 80% of China provinces, regions, and cities are part of this program. Now, a lot of cities in China or regions or provinces released a version of this in China, but nonetheless, it all goes back to one database system and allows them to grade people from there, or rank people from there, rather, sorry. Now, the 80% number, that means there's 20% of China that's not involved in this or doesn't want to be involved. I'm going to assume it's the rural areas of China, which there are a lot of, that wants no part of this, don't care, or they're too poor to give a shit, all right? So their behavior is probably either bad to begin with, or they just don't care. Great for them. That's 20%. There needs to be more people involved in this. There needs to be more Chinese standing up against this, but nonetheless, that's not happening because they were easily manipulated and controlled over the years. So this China credit social system didn't pop up overnight, guys. This happened over years. It was a breakdown of different programs they ran throughout the years to get them here so that they can be completely controlled. Now, they implemented this for corporations, like I mentioned earlier. Corporations, 33 million corporations are participating in this social credit system, which is actually the corporate social system, right? Or social credit system, sorry. These wordings, the wording is so tongue twisterish, it's insane. Nonetheless, corporations are involved, 33 million, so they're also being graded as well. The thing with the corporations is that if they are deemed scumbags, long short of it, they lose out on orders. For example, they need supplies, they need steel. Well, guess what? Johnny A company is going to get the prime steel and the better deals versus Johnny D's company, where he has been a scumbag or been caught doing some shit or blamed for doing something, brings his corporate rating down, which now puts him on the back of the list to get supplies he needs for his business, which ultimately, if he keeps it up or the Chinese don't like him and they keep it up, his business could be shut down. So the former Vice President of the United States, Mike Pence, noticed this back in 2018, and he made this statement on the Chinese social credit system. China's rulers aim to implement an Orwellian system premised on controlling virtually every facet of human life in the so-called social credit score. And he's right, but now we're doing the same thing, or we have a variation of that starting. Our variation of that right now is the vaccine passports. That's my belief. I could be completely wrong, but I think that's going to be a way they keep us in check. Oh, you're up to date on your shots. Oh, you are vaccinated. You can do X, Y, and Z. Oh, you're not updated on your shots. Oh, it's been 2 years since you got your last booster shot. What's going on, Mr. Dickface? Well, I'm sorry. And then they start doing that. Again, they want to control you, so they control you with certain things. And it starts with control. And they started it off already, right? Wear your mask. People are putting a mask on. Go get vaccinated. People are jumping in line to get vaccinated. Get tested regularly all the time. People are getting tested all the time now. Control, guys. It starts with the little things. And now, like the Chinese, they fall in line easy. Whatever the Chinese government tells them to do, they do. The China social credit system started the same way we did with our credit system. They started financially. They started doing credit worthiness. And from that, guys, they started gaining control over the people and how they behave and how they spend their money and how they pay their bills. And then they transitioned it over to social credit, social activities and behavior. We are on deck for that. Like I said, the credit score systems here want to use our social media activities and behavior to also gauge our credit rating. So they're already talking about that here. And actually, that was about 2 years ago they started that talk. So they could be looking at, I don't know, your Instagram and your Facebook and holding that against you. Now, once they start doing that, the one thing about Americans versus Chinese is that we have a little more to say about certain things than the Chinese do. We don't fold as easy. So that being said, guys, the United States government and the credit scoring system here in the United States are going to see a bit of a pushback. Now, the end game or end state of all of this, guys, is to put it all under one data system that's governing the citizens, businesses, and government, or government employees rather, sorry, under this Orwellian system, if you will. That being said, that is going to be complete control, because if the government, Chinese government, doesn't like what you're doing, they can give you a bad social credit score. They can bring it down a couple points. Like I said, however they give out the point, dole out the points, or take away the points, not sure, that's what they're going to be faced with in the end. And it's going to be it's going to be a one data system that's going to use real-time judging or rating, if you will. As soon as you throw that paper on the floor and they identify you, your point comes down, and then you get a notification on your phone. So again, guys, real-time judging. This is like an episode out of Black Mirror. So this system started back in '99, right? It was a variation of the system. It was how they, again, through your credit score, and then the credit score turned into your social behaviors. And now it's one and the same, right? So if you are late on a bill or you jaywalk across the street, you drop in points. So now they're using every aspect of your life to gauge how and where you move to, and whether or not you're going to move to that area, whether you're going to go to a movie theater, whether you're going to get on a plane and leave China, or whether you're going to get on a train to go to work, whether or not you're going to get a job. It affects people to that level, guys, a job. If your social credit score is low, your application for a job or a college can get kicked. If your family member is an asshole, let's say your father or your mother, and you're going for a college in China, well, your application could get kicked if your father's Johnny the Dickface, or Johnny Woo for that matter, and Johnny Woo's fucking credit score system is bad. So with that being bad, they can absolutely hold that against the kid, which is seemingly, or not even seemingly, it's unfair. Now, here are the problems with the social credit systems in China. They can restrict your travel, like I said, so you might not be able to leave the country. They can restrict or get no admittance to certain schools you want to go to. Your internet speed, interestingly enough, they could throttle it down if you're fucking, according to the Chinese, a bag of shit. They can take your dog away if you're that bad, which I don't know at what level they take your dog away or why they even consider that. But nonetheless, guys, this is China. Public shaming, if you are Johnny Woo the Dickface, and now they're like, oh, his credit score system is so low, let's berate him. And now they start berating you in public or shaming you in public. People don't talk to you, they shun you away. Again, the episode of Black Mirror, which was the first episode in season 3, if I'm not mistaken, it's the same thing. They walked around looking for acceptance. Oh man, nice day today, nice tie, and then they give you a like. or stars, sorry. It's the same thing, except for with this, they're not actually giving you stars. They're just shunning away from you because you got a low credit score. The other thing is social freedoms. You lose your social freedoms if you have low scoring. Like I said before, you can't go to the movie theaters. You might not be able to go to the diner you want to go to, or the restaurant you want to go to, because you are, according to the Chinese government, a bag of shit. And now the Chinese government is a true bag of shit, but nonetheless, they're calling their people a bag of shit by giving them low social credit scores so that they can't do certain things. And to get them in line, you want to eat at this restaurant or go see this movie, you better act right. You better not, cross against the light. You better not drop garbage on the floor. You better give up your seat to the old lady on the train or the bus. Controlling every form of your life. And when you start controlling people, after a while, guys, it turns into a shit show. Now, the Chinese are a little more docile than we are, so they're probably going to be under this control a lot longer than we are. But unfortunately, we have to wait and see. So there's a common theme to this, guys. It's called Changxing. If I'm saying it wrong, this is the wording here. This is how they are scoring you throughout the whole thing. They're scoring you through financial credit worthiness, judicial enforcement, commercial trustworthiness, social trustworthiness, government integrity, and these are how they grade you throughout, again, in real time too. So like the way I explained it, as slow as I explained it, that happens fast in real time. Their AI computer and their cameras catch you in the act of doing certain things. Now with corporations and government officials, if you will, that's different. That's based on things if they get caught in some kind of scandal, for example. Whether the scandal's unfounded or not doesn't matter. If you're attached to a scandal, this brings your social credit system down, scoring system down. If you're a corporation and you fuck up, you end up on something called a blacklist. And you end up on this blacklist, it brings the social credit rating of your employees down as well, which is bullshit. So because you're, again, Johnny the Dickface is working for X, Y, and Z company, X, Y, and Z company did something unbeknownst to them that was wrong. Nonetheless, the Chinese government brings their social credit scoring system down, or their rating down, sorry. Now, Johnny the Dickface Wu, well, he loses a point or two for being associated with that company. This is why it also controls the company even tighter, because whatever the company does wrong or fucks up will fuck over their employees as well in the long run. Again, total control, guys. It's insane. So instead of just penalizing the company, the people get penalized as well. Now, the word Changxing, getting back to that, it also means trustworthiness, integrity, sincerity, or morality. Depends on the context it's used. But in this context, it's used in trustworthiness, right? So again, they're forcing the Chinese people to be trustworthy, which is insane. Because guys, listen, you're handcuffing them to be good. And if they do something that's out of character for the Chinese government, they can be penalized for that, which is a lot. So imagine that happening here. Now, some people to some aspects are going to say, we have that here. We do have that in some aspects. For example, a company looks on your social media account and they don't like the fact that you supported Trump, or they don't like the fact that you voted for Biden. They can hold it against you and not have you get hired. If you're a teacher and you were shaking your ass at some bar or flashing your tits at a bar, they can hold that against you, which I think is bullshit. If a teacher wants to, fucking flail her breast around, so the fuck be it. If a guy wants to fucking vote for Biden or Trump, so be it. But we are seeing that in some kind of form now. But when it comes to companies not hiring you because of this, that's an entirely different bullshit ballgame. Now, like I said before, blacklisting is a list that companies end on if they do things that are untrustworthy, right? So they end up on this list and they get banned from traveling in or out in the country or out of the country. No admittance to theaters. I'm pretty sure that's the employees and the fucking guy that owns the business. If the person working for the company is on a blacklist, let's say they want to leave that job, they might not get hired by another job because they were blacklisted. They were working for a company that got blacklisted. Sorry. So remember, I said that if a company acts like an asshole or is untrustworthy, it affects them. It affects the employees. Now the employees want to leave and go somewhere else, they can't. Because, well, according to the Chinese government and their fucking social credit system, they lost points for working for a company that did something that was unbeknownst to them. On top of all of this takes 2 to 5 years to get off that list. Once you're blacklisted, it takes 2 to 5 years to get off. So forget about losing points. Now you're trying to get off this list desperately and you can't because they fucked you over. The business, whoever you work for fucked you over. Now, there's a list called the irregularity list. This list is where companies in China, if they end up on this list, doesn't necessarily mean they're bad because they're not blacklisted yet. This means that now the Chinese government is paying attention to that company for being on the irregularity list. So this list can lead you into the blacklist, which once you end up in a blacklist, it's a pain in the ass to get off of. So guys, I mentioned before that there's AI technology in the 200 million cameras all over China that are watching you at any given time. It's real-time camera. So you're walking down the street and they want to zoom in on you or click you, pink, as a person. Up, Johnny Dickface is at it again. They click on it and then it has your profile next to it, right? So this is, again, guys, bad. So the technology is advanced. Again, guys, if you throw garbage on the floor or you're protesting at an anti-Chinese protest, the AI system can look at a video and pick faces out of it and go, oh shit, that's Dum Zing, that's Jiang Zing, that's Wing Wang, you know, all right, I know I'm making these names up and I'm offending some of you guys, fuck it. But you get my point, right? And so now it's looking at all of these people and they're like, these people, these three guys, we're going to blacklist them right away. They're going to drop their credit score because the anti-government protesting in China is a big no-no. You throw trash on the floor to protesting against the government, that's a giant no-no. Again, the AI system can absolutely pick up your face. The AI system is so smart, but they videotape you in the United States from China protesting against the Chinese government. The AI is smart enough to pick up that video and faces of Chinese residents and hold that against them from protesting in America. Now, it drops your credit score system, your social credit system in China, but I don't know now if that doesn't allow you to come back. And if it doesn't allow you to come back, I guess they can get asylum or whatever the fuck it is. But if it doesn't allow you to come back, which I don't know why you would want to come back at that point, I would think any Chinese citizen with half a brain would defect and stay here. Nonetheless, their AI system is top notch. So again, guys, the United States is already starting with our bullshit. I explained it before. Our credit scoring system is going to turn into a social credit system if the credit companies, right, look at our social media activity and behavior and hold that against us. If they start looking at our vaccine passport, which, guys, the vaccine passport has the ability to put all that information onto it. So right now, it's just the vaccine passport. But they have the ability to put all of the other shit on it. It wasn't designed just for the vaccine passport. It was designed to put your medical records on it. It was designed to put your fucking credit history on it. It was designed to put your phone numbers, your passwords, all of the shit into one app. It's just not for the vaccine. The capabilities are there. They were already designed that way. They're going to start unlocking it slowly but surely. And you shall see in the next year or so, maybe even a couple months, you're going to start seeing new features added to it, but they've already been there. All right, guys, this is the Angry Prepper. Thank you for watching the Angry Truth channel. You can like, subscribe to this channel. You can also head over to the Angry Prepper channel, like and subscribe to that channel. And if you don't mind, guys, I fired up my podcasting again. I've been pretty consistent with that. I am doing original podcast videos, podcast audios for podcasts now. I'm not taking audios from my videos anymore and switching it over to the podcast. I'm doing podcast originals. So do me a favor, type in the Angry Prepper on any of the podcast listening services and you'll find me there as well. All right, guys, thank you for watching.